Hey, how have you guys been? I know it's been a while, but I have a good reason for it. The reason is actually fairly simple. I had been thinking about books that I'll be reading in 2025, and today I will be introducing them to you guys. But if you're new here and you don't know me, my name is Ivan. Welcome to Books by Ivan, and I read books. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, make yourself comfortable and let's dive into my 2025 book pick. Coming in number one, we have a book that reminds me of a painting by Van Gogh. The cover itself is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you guys Friedrich Nietzsche, Thus Spoke Zarathustra. Look at the cover, look how beautiful this is. Dazzling. Reminds me of Starry Night by Van Gogh. And the context of this book is even more intriguing than the painting. Next, we have a book by Plato, a philosophical book. This is The Republic by Plato. You can't really see because of the lighting that's coming in, but the cover is beautiful. And the reason I chose a philosophical book is simple. One of you recommended me a book by another philosopher, Seneca. I really love that book, so I decided to give this one a try. And I chose this book in particular because it correlates with the events that are happening in the world, at least to me. Next up on my pick is a book that I'm sure you guys have already read or seen or heard about. Ladies and gentlemen, a book by Albert Camus, The Stranger. You can't really see, but there you go. The reason I chose this book is simple, and I'll tell you guys later. Next, we have a book that I'm currently reading. I am 6 chapters in right now. Started reading it 3 days ago. It's a book by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. This book is considered a masterpiece. I present to you guys Fyodor Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment. This book is massive. And the content of this book is just And that the presentation is done, allow me to dive into details as to why I chose this book. The first book I'll be reading in 2025. Coming in number one, The Stranger. The reason I chose this book is simple. I want a book that crushes me. I want a book that makes me feel despair. I want to be staring at my ceiling for hours after reading this book. I want something that will make me question my life. And that is the main reason as to why I chose this book. I mean, if I'm not wrong, Albert Camus was inspired by Fyodor Dostoevsky to write his books. To write books. Some of his books, and I believe this is one of them as well. And I really am looking forward to this because I have read books before. They were all like fantasy, right? But it didn't give me that satisfaction, that taste that I'm looking for. So I started diving more into classics. My expectation for this book, I want this book to crush my soul. I want to be in awe after I'm done with this book. And that is why I chose to read this book. Next, we have The Republic by Plato. Before I go any further, let me ask you a question. Is it always better to be just than unjust? That's the question that I'm asking myself in today's day and time, honestly. And I believe that this book will answer that question. There's another question that I have for you, right? Do you think that individuals can achieve happiness without contributing to a common goal, right? Do you think that people can be happy without contributing to the common goal, which to me is helping humanity improve? That question is for you to answer. Me, happy diving into this book. I would be all the nicks and crannies of this book, just scheming for an answer that pleases me, or at least something that would leave me with that taste, that little satisfactory feeling I'm looking for in books. After, hopefully, my view of the current world will improve in a way or another. But next up on the list is this beautiful book. I can't stop talking about the cover. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. Wow. This book is about 360 pages, and thus spoke Zarathustra. This book, right? I believe will help me understand existentialism in one way, of course. This book is all about psychology and philosophy, similarly to The Republic. Hopefully these two can go together and give me a better understanding of life, I guess you could say, the circumstances that people are put through and what they're thinking is while they're doing certain action. That is why I chose this book in particular. And hopefully, once I'm through with this book, I will have something that will help me understand humanity better. Next up, we have Fyodor Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment. I am currently obsessed with this book. The reason is simple, right? I want to understand the thinking behind people that commit heinous crime, right? I want to understand the guilt that they go through and what they do with it, how they deal with what they're feeling, if that makes sense. A couple of hours ago, before recording this video, I read through chapter 5. It's a chapter where they beat the horse to death, right? And while reading that, I started asking myself, why would they do that? Is it pride? Because you need context to understand why I mean by pride. They were at a drinking den, aka a bar. A couple of fellows were just drinking, and skipping forward, he decided to take a little horse, right, to pull a carriage full of people that were plump or fat, as mentioned in the book, right? And because the horse wasn't able to, the owner of the horse says that he will make it gallop, even knowing that it couldn't. So they just started beating the horse. They actually, an entire group, started beating the horse. And as I was reading that, I had to pause because I was trying to understand why and if it's necessary. I mean, those brutes were viciously beating on the horse. And when a person tried to make it stop, they didn't listen because, and I quote, "It's my horse, and I will do what I want with it." I believe that's what it says. And right now in chapter 6, the main character is thinking about murder. He's thinking about killing someone. Will he do it? I do not know. Maybe he will. And if he does go with the murder, I want to know why. Okay, I want to understand what was going through in that moment, the psychology that's involved, how it will affect him. If you get what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, I'm looking really forward to this book. This book is a masterpiece. Crème de la crème. These are the books that I'll be reading in 2025, from January to March. I will be reading one chapter from every book and I will upload them on this channel. If you guys would like me to dive more into a specific book, let me know. If not, I'll see you guys next time. As always, have a good day and be good people. Bye.